Hello and welcome to MiniCTM Sandstone. But, bRanN, this is supposed to be a mapping episode. Yes, it was. However, the original intention, well, let's go back to the very beginning. The original intention was that I was going to do half episodes. Each episode was going to be half playing, half mapping. That didn't work. So then I decided I was going to alternate episodes. Did I make this place safe? Yes. Except for right there. And that's not going to work out. Let me see. And the reason for that, let's put some stuff away for safety here. The reason for that is because the mapping that I'm doing now is just updating spawners. It would just be a lot of footage of the exact same thing. This seems awfully quiet. I did not inadvertently change my difficulty. No, I didn't. And actually, that's a lot harder to do now. And, oh gosh, these webs. Oh, wrong way, because I just ran into another web. So, for mapping, mostly the changes I have for mapping now are going to be small tweaks. Like, oh, this seems a little unbalanced, or this area isn't exactly clear. Or, actually, if I gave the player this item in this chest, it'd be a lot better at this point in the game, in the map. The thing is, I don't know what that is until I kind of play through it and get a feel for it myself. And so I can't make those changes yet. But the spawners are mostly updated. And the changes I'm making are, I'm getting them closer to their default spawn range. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened, but I'm doing it. I'm taking advantage. Because I had originally, when I very first made this map, I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be more difficult, so I need to take those down. No, you don't. And of course, I fix things like that stupid spawner. That guy's a firebite. He seems to not notice me right now. I'm gonna be okay with that. I do wonder if somehow he just doesn't see me because of the web, or is it a bug? Is he even hostile towards me? Yep, he is. He wants to bite me. Or maybe he was just moving and I was scared. I don't know. Okay, but that ends the reign of the fire bite. And then this guy, you can go away. The other change I'm making to the spawners is oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm done with this dungeon, thank goodness. The other change I'm making with the spawners is what am I doing? I'm giving them custom names. They already have custom names in my head, if you know what I mean. Like when I made the spawners, I kind of imagined a name. I gave them a nickname for the spawner file. Oh, there's some stuff in here. There's not a lot of stuff in here, but there is some stuff in here. Some big bad jerks. Let's go just fight them. I got my sharpness, wooden sharpness swords. Come here. Yeah, what do you want? And we get some torches down to slow down the spawner. And then we take out the spawner. So I figure from here on out, if my commentary focuses more on the design aspects of an area, or what I was thinking, or maybe some little small tidbit of some type of mapping lore, whatever you want to call it, then that's okay. I was trying to make sure, okay, that's kind of a mapping thing. Let's talk about that when I'm mapping. But I think we'll probably have quite a few playthrough levels before that happens. Oh, that's a weird color. Yeah, I saw that color thing happening. Oh gosh. To I believe it was Etho. I saw in his video. It's just a snapshot bug, I suppose. And I'm on the snapshot, so I need to be aware of that if weird things happen that I don't expect. Gailforce bow. Oh, this is fun. This is one thing I try to do in all my maps, is have a special item. And you get them in the dungeons, and they progress in power. So this is level 1. And it's got punch 2, knockback 1, unbreaking 1. Aim for the center of your target. Aiming for the center of your target is said to give more lift. And then, see, these are more of my decorative items. It's supposed to look like clouds and wisps and whatever. But we got wool. And we have a decent bow for when that other bow breaks. Or did it already break? Or did I lose it in a past episode? See, I don't record these all in a row, so sometimes I don't remember exactly what happened. And I try to leave notes. But that doesn't always work. So we got plenty of coal. And it's going to be so much nicer when I can get some iron. And that's one thing I was thinking about in this map. I do not have enough iron. There's definitely iron. But you have to mine it, and it's in awkward places. And I think that might be kind of cool for a little while. But after that, it gets kind of And so I might just add some iron to some chests. Not a lot. Just a little bit here and there. My other maps, Happy Love, there's like a ton of iron, and it's all in one area. So it's kind of like, once you get to it, it's as if you've unlocked it. Now, you still got to mine it. I don't start handing it out. I didn't really think about that sort of aspect to my maps. That, yes, there should be a point when the player has to earn an item, but kind of once they've earned it and once you expect that they already have it, they shouldn't have to sit there and grind for more of it. And I'm not sure how I would want to balance that out in these maps. I think these maps, I've always called them my classic series because they were kind of the first maps I made. And they've been updated a few times. Like this has been updated. A lot of small things, but then kind of a major, it was completely remade. There's a few things I kept. And I'm still hoping I can find an old copy of the map, maybe on one of my backup discs somewhere in my archives. Because I'd love to show you. I'd love to just fly around an episode in the old map and then fly around in the new map, just so you can see the differences. And you can kind of see which sections I obviously just copied and pasted. Which you can say it's a little cheaty, but I didn't exactly just copy paste. I also had to go through and move stuff around, smooth it out, that sort of thing. And definitely we're not for lack of content for mapping, because I haven't done world edit recently. So right now I would be very rusty if I tried to just jump in and show you world edit commands. But world edit basically lets you turn the items you're holding in your hand into paintbrushes, so you can point at a place. This is for those of you that aren't familiar. Right click and it could place a block, a sphere of whatever you want. And more interestingly, I'm going to get these more, and then these two, and we'll exit out here. More interestingly, I think, is you can add masks. So you can say replace only sandstone. And imagine this is all sandstone, because at one point it probably was. And then you can say, for my material, I want 50% soul sand and 10% end stone and maybe 5% air and however many other percentages I need to make it a full percent. And I believe I emptied this. I wish I would just break it so I'd remember. That's what the pros do. Did I pick that up? Okay, good. Because the pros pick them up. Oh gosh, let's just do it this way. And a dirt door for you and me. So, you'll notice I did not get... I didn't even bother to get... Oh my gosh, I didn't get the wool. but I'm almost about out of food, so I'm going to take care of that, and we're going to get some blocks. I'll go down and I'll meet you there very briefly, and we'll get the monument block. Way to go distracting me, viewers. It's completely, totally your fault. No, of course it's my fault. I noticed I didn't have blocks. I'm like, oh man, I need to go get blocks. But I was really into what I was talking about at the time. And then I obviously forgot. I'm not going to sneak build on this soul sand. That's really never a good idea. And I don't exactly have a bunch of blocks. But I'd rather not fall into the lava, so I'm going to do a little bit more than I need. No, those fell in. And wouldn't it be horrible if there was a skeleton in this area? So here is my fleecy box. And I believe in Vetch's maps, they are larger than this. I made them smaller intentionally to kind of fit with the MiniCTM theme. And I was using these ghost lights, but as of recently, I've been updating it, so I put a red block, a redstone block there, just because it's something we have now. I think at the time when I made this, so you'll see if I break this, it'll update all the adjacent blocks. Boom, off. I think at the time I made this, redstone block was not a thing. And obviously the time I gave it a major update, it was not a thing. I would like that block, though. I don't know what I want to use it for, but I want it. So here is the chest. And this is the monument block. And I make it very clear with the item description. Cyan wool monument block, dungeon 01. At one point, I was actually going to have these say dungeon and then the name of the dungeon. But my OCD said no. Because this way, I can just take this chest as a schematic, this fleecy box actually, and just pop it in wherever. So I'm only going to take one. And you have to collect all 3 different colors, not all 3 of these, of course. You should know. I went over the rules, didn't I? Gosh, I hope so. If I didn't, I'm not a very good host. All right, and I think I got everything in there, and that's why I should take chests. And I will meet you back at the safety hut. Hey, look. My trees have grown. So I'm going to go chop those down. Let's see, what's the desert look like? I'm cutting in here instead of the safety hut like I just darn said. Already lying. Please don't hold it against me. Because we're going to go there. We're going to go somewhere different. No, that's not why I cut in. I cut in here because I wanted to talk about the desert. I mentioned locking the day-night cycle. Because let's face it, once you get to bed, you're just going to reset it. That's not necessarily the case. If it's always night, you can use the bed to set your spawn anywhere. That can be dangerous. That can be abused. And actually, while we're here, let's get another thing. So that's one point against doing such a thing. Unless I locked it in day, then you could never use the bed, which that takes away a game mechanic, so I don't like that. Doot. Oh, I don't have space. What am I going to give up? Keeping in mind, whatever I give up, I can always come back and get later. Actually, just eat this. So I don't like taking away game mechanics. The other thing, my main concern, is if I make it so that these can spawn during the day, as they're going to spawn during the day, I'm not going to give them hats because I don't want them to be safe from the sun. So they would just keep spawning. Keep spawning. They'd fill up this entire area. And if they didn't have hats, like say this was the day and you're just in here derping around, then they'd keep dying and dropping their flesh and die and drop their flesh. And what if you're in here for a really long time? What if you AFK in here for some reason? Then all of a sudden you come back and stutter. So, I mean, the likelihood of that happening, probably not too great. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to have that as a possibility. Let's see, how are we doing here? Okay, look at this. Bone meal, right? We're going to have some food. I'm going to make some carrots. I'm going to dump off my stuff. I'm not going to quite organize it yet, I don't think, but we're going to visit the monument. I'm excited to take you guys somewhere new. Hi, piggy. And I still haven't decided, do I want to hide a grass block somewhere for this guy? We might. We'll see. And real quick, this has Fortune 5, and assuming that's still a thing, this should give... Oh yeah, that's a thing. This should give many more drops. At the risk of wasting a harvest, I got 19 there. Put that away and break this. Doot, doot, doot. 11. Put that away. Get my bone meal. Let's get these things going. And then here, Fortune 5. 20. Definitely makes a difference. There is an upper cap, I think, of how much you can get per crop. But make sure you're using these. At least, well, no, this is the snapshot. So it works now. That's all that matters. I don't know if I would do it. But I was just thinking how amazing it would be if inside here there was some switch that would let you lower these blocks. But that would probably require that block to not be there. It's just, oh, that'd be kind of neat. I don't think I'm going to take the time to figure out how to do it. But that'd be helpful exactly in this situation. No, thank you. I don't want nothing. Ah, straight into lava. But I better cut away here before I use all my time talking, because I want to show you the monument. I'm going to do it. All right, are you ready? Look. This is such a hodgepodge of stuff. I put some dirt there so that can actually have a melon. Actually, since it's a melon. Since it's a melon, let's go ahead and get it. And that should not need to be tilled for that to work. It's just the farmland that I got from the chest, so it was already tilled. And I did go ahead and organize some stuff. It's just the 3 potions I have. Potion supplies, blocks, and like everything else. My more important supplies and then my less important supplies. And I can't enchant. I'm in the snapshot, and I can't enchant. Look at all this hodgepodge. Missing stairs so that I can have another nether thing. A walkway so I can get up here. That way, when I'm out here, there's not an actual pathable way because it's all too tall. So zombies can't get me now. Not that they usually make it up this far. And honestly, if you're traveling here in dark, then, you know, somebody help you. So we are going to the monument. And this is just spinning me in circles. The monument's this way. Oh, and it's so beautiful. I turned up the render distance. This is one of those things that was almost exactly the same in the old version, and then I copy-pasted it in here. The funny thing is, in the old version, it was like down here. It was still off the ground, but not by much, and there was some piles of stuff kind of stacked around, like that, except smaller. And more of them. And that's where the iron originally was, under the monument. And this little stairway here, that was there too. It's funny because I took it as a schematic and then I had this giant pillar and it's kind of like I crushed it on there. And you'll see when we get up there that it just kind of stabs through. Oh, there's somebody dying. Now this, when we go there, I will tell you all about it. These things are something that I'm going to have to fix when I'm done fixing everything else. The reason being, because I want to use some of the newer features, I'm thinking. I mean, I still got to think about it more, how exactly I want to make it work. Basically, I want them to go away. Oh, that's not hint for a lot, is it? And that's all my arrows. Yep, 3. The deal with those towers, oh my gosh. Nice. Is that I wanted them to spawn a skeleton. And they have knockback bows, so that's really horrible. And I kind of love how I made this thing. It's not, by no stretch of the imagination, is it this grand, wondrous design, but it's just kind of cool. It's like a little mini cave. I added coal to this. Originally, there was no coal in here, and I felt it was kind of hard to get coal, and some people weren't realizing, actually, before there was no coal in this map at all. The only way to get coal was charcoal, and if you didn't know about that, then you were kind of hosed. And there's some people that played through nearly the entire map without any source of light, and I don't know how they did it. It's things like that that make people think, oh, your map sucks. It's like, no, you were playing it wrong, but it's up to me as the designer, developer, to kind of make these things more apparent. I mean, not dumbfound stupid, but, oh, this was fun to get just right, and to bury the switch before I knew about blocks that I could place and make it so they were just on. If you break this, there is a switch underneath there. Oh, this ain't gonna work. Oh no, I did finish. Also, originally, this part was unfinished. So, yeah, there was that. Okay, I'm gonna start by lighting this area up, because we're gonna be here for a little bit, actually, and I'll show you why here in a second. And I wanna make this mob safe, in case it does start to get a little dark. Oh, we're not gonna try to make that jump. No, thank you. And I used all sorts of blocks for this, just because I thought it would look cool. And my OCD is such that if you were to remove all this lava, I'm not sure why that's gone. Did I do it on purpose? I don't recall. It's all obsidian. So my idea is that the obsidian kind of hardened, the lava kind of hardened the material around it, whatever material it was before, and kind of turned it into obsidian. I've started like 5 thoughts, and I'm not sure that I finished any of them, so you know how I am. I'm sorry. Okay, that's all the torches I have, so that's going to have to be as safe can be. So let's just recap real quick. Here's another thought, by the way. This is something that I was essentially just copied and pasted from the old version and then kind of touched up. The skeletons over there are supposed to just appear, but only in a specific place, and it was very difficult to get to work, and that is the specific thing that I'll get into more detail about later. But I had a lot of trouble with it. I had where multiple would appear, and I had where it's just all sorts of issues. And I think I know of a way to fix it, but it would require new features of the new Minecraft command blocks and such. Okay, but here we're going to focus on this. Here is the monument, deserted temple monument, and here you'll see this is like torn up from down below. I think makes it look amazing. And there's a chest here. Did you notice? Were you saying, hey, get the chest, what are you doing? I'm going to put this here just for safety. I don't even need to go over there to get it. I can reach from here. It says monumental damage. I'm going to put this in here for safety. And I'm going to move some of this stuff up. I might still need the pick. It should be safe. There's smooth sandstone. And I'm always curious how well I kind of counted everything here. If I got the right amount of everything. And I think you'll see what I mean. You might already know what I mean. You might be a super smart person. You might just already know what I mean. You see how this place is damaged and it's built with very specific blocks. If you want, there's no achievement or anything for it, but if you want, you can rebuild it. And that's what I'm going to do. And maybe I'll make some funny noises or sing a song. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll find some music to put over it. I'm going to repair it, but I'll do it in a sped up version, sped up mode. I'm sorry, that's distracting me how it just, it looks cool. All right. Are you ready?
So I wonder how fast I'll speed this up. Maybe 200? Maybe not. Now if you want to rebuild this, you gotta look at what blocks are actually missing. You gotta place the right ones. And I feel like we should sing a song. We should sing a Repair the Monument song. I'm repairing the monument. I want to make sure to place the blocks just right. I'm repairing the monument. It's gonna look like new when I'm done. If you could rebuild anything, then what would you rebuild? Would you choose to rebuild nothing, or would you rebuild the entire world? I'm rebuilding the monument. It's a beautiful monument. Kind of. I mean, ish. I don't know. I like it. Oh, I thought I ran out of blocks. I thought I ran out of blocks, but I didn't. I was wrong. I thought I ran out of blocks. What is that tone? Come on, keep a tune, man. Come on. I'm placing all the blocks where they go right now. I'm making this place just like new. Do, 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 do. I'm wondering how long this video is. Do, 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 do. I'm out of song ideas. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna build. And a glowstone. And a bump. And a bump, bump. And did I give enough pieces to put one there? I do not know. I do not remember. I did count this out. I did make sure I'd have enough when I originally made it. Now I'm wondering. Now I'm curious. Did I do it correctly? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Do-do-do. It doesn't seem like I have enough. Do I have a whole nother stack? Yes, I have a whole nother stack. Okay, good. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do. I feel like I missed something. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. It's definitely nighttime. Do-do-do-do. 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 Alright, I'm gonna have to rebuild this floor very carefully, so I'll be back.
And done. And I'm hearing all sorts of horrible noise, so I've kind of closed this off. And I've made a little note here that I need to add more light. Maybe I'll incorporate it into the actual design, so I don't rely on the player to have to build it, because the monument is always supposed to be a safe place. I suppose I could also make this a mushroom biome, but that would give access to leather and mushroom soup. And would that be okay? I'm not sure if I'd want that. It's not limiting. But anyway, let's be focused, because this is about the end. So here's the monument. Here is the location for the gold block. Here's the location for the iron block. And something I wanted to do originally, I wanted to find a way so that when a block was placed here, it completed a circuit, and that it would wrap around and turn on the light. But I think when there's stuff here, that actually doesn't shine all the way through. I don't know. And actually with the new features, I could do it. But the thing is, on these maps, I mentioned this is my classic series, right? I feel like if I make an enhancement to one, I should have the same enhancement throughout. It's kind of OCD, but it's also a very good design that I'm trying to accomplish, which, let me just use one word, and called standardization. You build up expectations from the player, and they expect things to be a certain way. Oh, I was like, where's my wool block? That scared me. And so when they're used to it that way, oh gosh. Is this knockback? No. And then you change it all of a sudden. Or if I have this really cool feature on this map and then it's not on the other ones, it just seems like that'd be kind of awkward. Take this. And oh my gosh, I hope it's safe. There's the spider. Hey, spider guy, you want to be my friend? Boy, spiders they just suck. And cyan. And let me show you my biggest disappointment. Remember the custom name, and remember all the custom data on this. Gone. It's gone. That's too bad. But there we go. 2 more to go. Plus the bonus emerald block, which we will be attempting to build, and the 2 metal blocks. But that'll be it for this episode. This has been bRanN. I hope to see you next video. Have a great day.